My name's Adam Brown, A-D-A-M-B-R-O-W-N. I'd like to thank this court for giving me the opportunity to speak today. The events of April 24th have significantly changed my life. The defendant's actions on that day had a deep impact on me, which will affect me for the rest of my life. He left me with both physical and emotional scars that will be constant reminders of the violence that was inflicted upon me that day. First, the physical scars. I suffered from multiple stab wounds to my neck, chest, and hands. The injuries to my neck being the most significant and nearly ended my life. My right internal jugular vein was severed and had to be ligated and is no longer functioning. I had stab wounds that punctured my trachea and caused significant damage and impaired my ability to speak and swallow. The wounds on my hand were caused by me trying to protect myself from the stabbing that he inflicted upon me that day. As a result of these injuries, I suffered from major blood loss and required resuscitation before emergency surgery could be done to save my life. I was in surgery for 6 hours when I woke up. I could not speak or swallow. I had a tracheostomy so that I could breathe, and a feeding tube so that I could eat. I was in the ICU for several days. I required intensive physical and speech therapy to improve my ability to speak and swallow. This continued for several months after I was discharged. I have nerve damage that affected my ability to use my right arm and causes me pain. This will also require ongoing therapy. I have no sensation to my right ear and most of my neck, and it is unknown if this will ever return. Although these physical wounds are healing, I will have the scars from them for the rest of my life. Now for the emotional damage I see. I suffer from symptoms of PTSD, including flashback, intrusive thoughts, hypervigilance, fearfulness, guilt, anger, dissociation, and panic. I also have symptoms of depression and anxiety, such as increased worry, insomnia, sadness, lack of motivation, anhedonia, low energy, feeling overwhelmed, irritability, racing thoughts, poor focus, and concentration. These symptoms have been intrusive in my life and still affect me today. Because of this, I have had to undergo intensive trauma and EMDR therapy to try and control these symptoms. Writing this statement has caused me to have an increase in all these symptoms due to having to relive the events of that day and the trauma that I continue to have from it. I have been fearful to work from my office at Signature Health and to see patients in person. I am only able to see patients virtually from the safety and security of my home. This attack has also affected my relationship with my wife due to symptoms of PTSD that we both have. I've had less interest in doing activities that I normally enjoy, such as spending time with my friends and family, working out with my friends, and spending time with my children. I feel anxious and on edge, which causes me to have increased irritability with my wife and children. I have trouble keeping up with the household chores and activities. Loud noises cause me to feel increased anxiety and fearfulness, which I feel throughout my whole body. I have had multiple times where the PTSD symptoms could be triggered by reminders of this event. During these times, I will feel increased fearfulness, dissociation from the environment I'm in, flashbacks, intrusive thoughts, and panic. When this happens, it will take me several hours to calm myself. This has not only affected me, but it's also affected members of my family and coworkers who were there that day. My children are young, and they struggle to try to process and understand what happened to their father on that day, and not knowing why Daddy was not coming home from work. Everyone in my family and friends close to me had to deal with the realization that I might not have survived that day. This has caused significant emotional stress for everyone involved, which is still healing to this day. On that day, he almost took a husband away from his wife, a father away from his children, and a brother away from his siblings, and a son away from his parents. The impact that it had on my coworkers who were there that day has also been great. They witnessed firsthand the attack on me and saw the violence of his actions. He passed several of them in the hallway with a knife in his hand as they came out of their office to respond to my screams for help. My supervisor tried to get me to safety in her office, putting her own life in danger to try to save mine. Several others tried to physically stop him as he was actively stabbing me with the knife, putting their own lives in danger. When the attack was done, several of my coworkers came to my aid as I was bleeding to death, applying pressure to my wounds and my neck to try to control the bleeding and offering support and hope that I would live despite me having already accepted death. Everyone who was there that day witnessed the horrific crime, and they were deeply affected. They all suffer from PTSD that requires them to get intensive therapy as well. Many are still struggling with the symptoms to this day. As you can see, they're all here in support of it today. Due to the nature of this crime, I feel that the defendant should get the maximum allowable sentence under law. This is based not only on the horrific nature of the attack on me and the violence of his actions, but also the significant risk that the defendant poses to others in the community at large. The attack on me that day was premeditated, unprovoked, and had the intent to end my life. I say this because he brought the knife in that day with the intention to use it to kill me. His attack on me that day was not isolated to one assault. After stabbing me in my office, he stalked me through the rest of the office floor to continue his attack on me with the intent to kill me. He did not stop his attack as I tried to flee to safety, despite having several opportunities to make an escape through two doors that he passed that he could have exited to leave the building. He chose instead to continue his attack with the intent to kill me. The attack on me was also unprovoked. He had no history of violent behaviors towards me, and he had no indication that he would do this to me that day. Every appointment we had prior to this day consisted of friendly conversations between the two of us to check in on his well-being and to treat any mental symptoms that he may find distressful for him. We had no history of confrontation. I strive to build a patient-provider relationship based on respect between us. I have both a legal and a moral obligation to provide psychiatric care in a manner that is respectful, based on trust, and will do no harm. I was not given that in return. On that day, he broke that trust. He chose to try to end my life for reasons that are unknowable to me to this day. Not only did he break that trust in our relationship, but he has made me question whether I can feel safe and trustful in relationships with the hundreds of other patients that I see. I also feel that he poses a threat to the community at large. The unprovoked nature of his attack on me shows that he is capable of doing this at any time to anyone. Although his attack was focused on me that day, it changed the lives of dozens of people. Right now, he poses a risk to everyone that he has contact with in his life, and I feel that giving him the maximum sentence that this court sees fit to give would help protect me and others. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'm sorry for what you had to go through. And how are you doing today?
It's a rough day.
So are you back to work full-time, or are you?
I am. I
Okay.
started back in August. Like I said, working exclusive from the home. I did go to the office a couple times, but I had to leave early on those days because those were triggering days for me.
Okay.
An example of that was one day I was in my office and music was playing, and it was a Wednesday, and the attack happened on the Wednesday. A song came on, a song that I didn't necessarily pay any attention to, and the same music plays on Wednesdays, and I instantly went into flashbacks and had to leave.
Okay. How long were you offering him treatment?
For about 2 years.
2 years.
Maybe a little bit more.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want me to know? All right. Thank you very much.